by decoding it. That is the only way, and studying it is the only way that you're going to learn the language. So back to your question. So when the Blue Ivy thing came out, I said if you take it, spell it backwards, what does it mean in Latin? Well, it doesn't mean devil child, and it doesn't mean Illuminati, and it doesn't mean a whole bunch of things. I said, fine, but if it was in the language of witchcraft and black and white magic, what does it mean then? And they shut up.
Right.
I got no response from anyone.
Right.
I said, okay, well, why don't we talk to some Luciferians? Why don't we talk to some people that practice magic, black and white magic, that do cast spells? You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So is it just a giant spell?
Nope. I think it's a lot deeper than that.
Okay.
I think it's ritualistic.
Mm-hmm.
It's past the initiation stage. I think it's sacrificial. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot more than I could probably say on this particular interview, because I would want to be able to back up what I say and show and prove it.
So time will tell. That's where it's at. Well, especially right here. We're in South Carolina. You know, they call Charleston the holy city. You know, we're in Bible Belt, everything. So you have, I guess, religion is the major barrier right now that you would have to break through. But at the same time, you see some people have kind of broken through that barrier. But at the same time, what I really want to get across is, all right, we're talking about the Illuminati, we talking about the CFR, you can talk about the CIA, FBI, blah blah blah, everything like that.
All the alphabet boys.
All the alphabet boys. Now, me and you, we're people. These are big companies. These are big entities who's actually taking time out of their day, their schedule, to affect regular people. Why would you think they would do that?
No, that's absolutely not true. They're not taking time out of their schedule. Controlling the masses and the minds of the people is their business.
Is their business, okay.
That's why they're in existence.
I'm correct.
That is their history. Just for example, if you do the history of the FBI, when it pertains to non-white people, we'd have to look at the COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, with J. Edgar Hoover. Some people call him Gay Edgar Hoover. So just like Tyler Perry is a cross-dresser. So you can look at J. Edgar Hoover as a cross-dressing director of the FBI counterintelligence program.
Right.
But what does that have to do with us today? You said they take time out of their schedule, and I said, no, this is their business. If we look at the counterintelligence program, it was their business to neutralize and incarcerate and dismantle the leadership in every black, Native American, Latino, and white organizations that spoke truth to power. They didn't only attack and come after black people, radical white people they came after. The SDS and some of the other organizations. I'm talking about, when I say radical, that's not a cheap word, man. It's not $1 million word, but it's not a cheap word. I'm talking about white people that was blowing up shit, bombing shit, tilting the landscape, especially the political landscape in America that's beyond what we can fathom. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about extremely radical. But when they found that those radical young whites were hooking up with black organizations, it truly became a problem. With all the other indigenous people, not only in America, but throughout the world. So the cry for liberation through this thing we call revolution, and that's the $1 million word. Complete, constructive, conscious, cosmic change. And how we brought about that change, of course I may not agree with some of the methods. I may not agree with the methodology of Dr. King or the Black Panther Party or whoever. But nonetheless, we are here today because of what they did yesterday. Exactly. And young people need to understand that. What we laid down in hip-hop and what we're laying down, even with this interview, today may affect some young cats 10 years from now. So it is with what Kanye West and Lil Wayne, Lil Wendy, and the rest of these cats are doing. What they're doing today, wearing women's clothes on stage, probably would affect the landscape of entertainment, black music, and hip-hop 10 years from now.
Right.
Because when your children look back on this day and they see Lil Wayne wearing women's clothes on stage, they say, Dad, well, what the hell were you doing?
Right.
You had 3, 4 cameras. Was you documenting this stuff and presenting and talking, speaking truth to power?
Right.
Is anyone going to say anything? That's the position I found myself in. in hip hop, seeing all this stuff, going to the parties, going to the video shoots, and I'm like, yo, is this for real?
Right.
I mean, are you seeing this like I'm seeing this? Even with the whole idea of bodyguards and people getting shot down, and we act like that's not human life. No one's saying anything.
Right. It's quiet. It's shush.
So I'm looking into these things, and I'm like, something deeper is going on. So when I started seeing the Baphomet, I started seeing the signs and symbols of skull and bones. I'm starting to see certain things going on in hip hop, and I said, I got it. I know what it is because I studied that before. The secret societies are taking over and controlling the music industry, the film industry, the entertainment industry. And they're here now, and everything that we're seeing probably have a double and triple meaning now.
Right.
So we have to be careful. So when I start teaching people right up from the rip, we need to become symbol literate. Know what the symbols mean so you can decode the madness.
Right.
Don't rely on me.
Right.
You do it yourself. So I started digging up people like Michael Tessarian, subversive use of sacred symbols in the media. And
he's deep.
He's extremely deep, and he breaks the symbols down along with Jordan Maxwell,
right,
and Ashwa Kwesi and other brothers, and other researchers, and I started connecting the dots. When I first started speaking out, the first reaction from the rap and hip hop community, oh yo, that dude's crazy.
Right.
Oh, you talking about the little short dude in Public Enemy? Oh yeah, he crazy.
He crazy.
'Cause I remember what he said in 1989. He got kicked out of Public Enemy, and yada yada. Yo, he's crazy, and they tried to write me off.
Stay away from him. Right.
But guess what happened? 15 and 16-year-olds were buying my DVDs, chopping the stuff up and putting it on YouTube. Now you can't ignore it.
Right. Right.
Because it's not coming from me. Young people that I don't even know is validating it because they're doing the research.
Right.
So guess what? Their parents were calling me. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't know your son, Josh. How old is your son? My son is 13 and he talks about you all the time. Well, I don't know your son.
Right. Right.
And he talks about you said this, and I said, ma'am, once again, I don't know your son.
Right, right.
But I could give you some information. You might want to kind of, if he's listening to some of this music, you might want to have a teaching moment. If he's watching some of these programs and he's being affected by what's going on in entertainment, you might want to use that as a teaching moment.
Right.